starts to run, and it goes up to 100% of running my hard drive, and I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I see you.
strange.
Oh, it's so nice to see you.
Yeah, here I am.
Yeah. I'm really glad to see you.
But I don't know. I'm waiting for another link to give to share the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I was talking about Star Wars, and I was talking
Yeah,
about
and me
Obi-Wan
too while
Kenobi,
you were gone.
and I was saying that parts of the dialogue were also awesome, and the farther the series went, it was better and better. So I liked it.
Yeah, and I was telling that me and Matthew were on the last part of the new trilogy
Oh,
in cinema.
I'm very
While
sorry for you.
no, but while we were going back home, we're talking about the whole universum of Star Wars, and that they made first three movies. Then
Yeah.
there were books, Lego, and the whole industry about
Yeah.
this idea. You are gonna you are going back and you're gone. Why?
What? Who?
You you disappeared.
Oh, I don't know. The camera
I can see you. Yeah,
some
yes,
malfunctions. Don't know.
you're here again.
Chaotic Wednesday, I think. That's the problem.
As usual, there always have to be some problems.
I was probably connecting via to share the screen, and probably that caused the problems. I'm sitting on the Wi-Fi, so if too many things at once, and everything starts to scramble. Or, like I said, Opera is acting on me today, so something strange is going on. So what's with the universe? It was even
No, I'm
taken into
telling.
account on one of the documentaries about the George Lucas. If you don't know, that he because George Lucas built his empire.
Yeah,
That was the funny thing, that it's almost like he himself is the empire from the Star Wars universe, because of the one simple decision. He did not took the percentage of money from the New Hope studios, but he made a decision that he will take a large cut, not a small one. It's not like 1%. He gets like, I don't know, 10%, 20%, something
oh
like
my
that,
god.
I think, from the everything they sell. So, and he has so much money not because of the movies, but everything around it. So that's how the empire of Lucas
Yes,
started
and
to
there's a
grow,
lot.
and he started to be like a Dark Lord of the Sith almost.
They even have had toys in the McDonald's, as I
Yeah,
remember.
everywhere were the toys, but
Yes, but it was
the
part of
problem,
Happy Meal in
I don't have
McDonald's.
that problem about the universe of the Star Wars. I
But that's
don't.
a problem. It's funny that they made
No.
three first parts and they made Empire on it, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a problem because creating so many auxiliary spin-offs, different
Yeah.
tales, it's impossible to make it coherent, to make it work together. And that's why almost every part just goes and drops some kind of like knowledge, or some sense that you could take from those movies, and it destroys it. It just throws it away, and you go like, what? It didn't work that way in the last part. Now it works, and it's always the same. Like
Um,
yesterday, the honest trailer. I don't know if you know this channel on YouTube. honest
No,
trailers. Honest trailers are the trailers.
you
They
have
talk
to
about the movie and making
send
fun
me
of
a
them.
link. Send me a
Make the
link.
fun. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi also was there yesterday, talked about, and there was like, oh, he's older and he forgot that he can move really quickly. And there's a scene from the Phantom Menace, when he and Qui-Gon Jinn are like suddenly disappearing using the Force because they are running so fast.
Yeah.
And then there is a cut into the current TV series, and he's barely running. Like he forgot that he can move really fast. It's so funny. So
But still,
they they invent some idea, then they shoot it into the canon, and then they forget about it in the next part. So it's like
yes, but
chaos.
still, as a fan of Star Wars, I can tell that no matter how shitty movie they make, I will go to the cinema and watch it.
Oh,
The same
I'm
with Alien for me.
unfortunately no. I am not that.
I
I'm
will.
not that courageous. Fool me once, okay. Fool me twice, no way. I watched Force Awakens. That was like almost unbearable. But I said, okay, maybe you're gonna repair
But
that crap. I went to the second one, and it was even worse. So no,
I
no,
can
no.
tell you
The
one
third
thing.
one, the newest one, I
Yeah,
just said nope, thank you,
I will tell you
never
one
again.
thing. For me, it's like I have to give them the chance. They made me. That was movie of my new age, of my younger ages, and
Sure,
I
who
have
wasn't the
yes,
the
and
first
still I
trilogy?
have to.
The
It's
first
like
trilogy was in cinemas for like
yeah,
20 years. So
yeah.
sure, you and other
And a few weeks
generations.
ago, I don't know if you have heard about it. A few weeks ago, in one of the cinemas in Wrocław, uh, I'm not talking right now about Star Wars, but they made a seance with uh, Blade Runner, the first Blade Runner remade, and a full cinema of people, full, to watch so old movie, but remade.
Mm, I
It
don't
was
know
a
which
bit in
one it
Wrocław.
was.
It was only one seance,
Yeah, one
and the
showing.
movie was full with people.
Yeah, sometimes well, Blade Runner is amazing visually,
Yeah,
and you must remember that the soundtrack by Vangelis is also well. I would go also
yeah.
if in Gdańsk there would be like a screening of Blade Runner, but for example, I don't like this director cut version.
Uh,
I think it's
I
crap.
don't know. It was a directed cut, but it was remade. Renewed.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's normal that you don't know which version it is because there are like 12 of them.
I
I don't know.
wasn't watching it. My friend, my friend was what, and he said that everyone in the cinema was sitting like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I was
No
on
one
the
was talking.
new.
And
The
one thing, because it wasn't in the multi-kino and something like this, it was one of the last small cinemas in the big cities, I think,
Mhm.
New Horizons. And it was, it was only one seance, no
Mhm.
repeats,
There is no word in English. Seance. Seance is Polish word for
maybe.
screening,
Screening?
showing. Yeah, no, not
Okay.
seance. Uh, yeah, I was like in Krakow once. I don't know, a few years back. It's not now, but they also had like small cinema, like with the old. Even with the old system of seats, I don't know. Do you remember those that like old theater like,
Yeah.
not the rows and the old crappy ones? And they were showing like clerks, I think,
I
things like
love that
that.
movie.
And I said, well, I'm going. They were showing such a small cinema, and also was almost full.
Yeah.
It was a few years back, of course, but yeah,
Come on, Pavel,
uh,
I'm old enough to know the small cinemas.
yeah, small cinemas were
Yeah,
fine. You know,
were fun.
there was
And
not
in terms of this
nothing
one,
wrong with them.
New Horizons, it's like you go there. There are some big movies, of course, because they have to make money, but there's a lot of independent movies, a lot. And
Yeah,
I love this cinema because of one thing, there's almost no commercials in the beginning.
yeah, I
It's
love
not
them.
half an hour, it's like maximum 20, 10 minutes of commercials,
I would
trailers.
I would love for the big cinemas to offer, like, for example, for two what is or for what is more, you don't have to watch the
Yeah,
stupid commercials. It's like 20 minutes. The movie costs you like 15 minutes of your life. I
yeah,
don't know why. They just take it away from you because
yes,
you have to sit and watch the stupid commercials. When there are movie commercials, I'm okay with it because it's cinema and I'm
yeah.
here. I can watch some movie commercials. It's
And
fine
it's
with
nice
me.
to see what's coming, yes.
But I don't want to buy a car.
Yeah,
Like, we are making fun always, like, oh yeah, we should definitely after the cinema go and buy that new Nissan. I want it, like right now. I want it. It's so stupid. Like, I don't know. Okay, but we are
yeah,
not
you're
here
right.
to talk about commercials.
Movies.
In our game does not have commercials. Any
Yet,
advertisement, we are not placing it yet.
yet.
Wo-
Yeah. So, what we're gonna do in today? What we're gonna do today? We're gonna create a new scene. I think yes.
That was the idea, that we are
Yeah.
creating something from the scratch, not adding like something that we're not going
Already
to
done.
be creating the whole scene. We're not going to be writing it. We're
Yeah.
gonna like design the basics of it, the basic idea of the scene.
And I have a question for you. Maybe you have an idea. Uh, when we are plan to release the second part?
What?
Do you
What was
know?
the question again?
When we plan to release the second part of our game?
I'm all right, and I'm done.
I know, but maybe you have an idea because I don't. And I wish.
Q3. I think that the end of the Q3 is when we intend to publish the second part, the entirety of the game as it is for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
So,
And so, okay.
this
Wait,
is
wait,
some
wait, wait.
old
I'm
scene.
just checking. Okay,
I know, I know.
everything is okay. So we want to create some kind of a new thing. It's
Something
kind of a
new,
exploration. I think we
new
should go with
adventure,
a
new exploration.
exploration. So for exploration scenes, I started naming them like exploration. I had like
There was a few
some
scenes.
prefix for those kind of thing. Free roam, free roam. Let's go free roam. Why not? Okay, so I'm gonna do FR, which means free roam, and I'm going to name it 01 and new exploration. Yep, new exploration. Let's add this scene, and I will jump to it. Okay, and now we are in the scene. And well, here, this is the first node, and we can like start designing the scene and start adding some elements, some
Yeah, because it looks
some
like this.
building blocks of a new scene.
Yeah, we have the main story with Astra and back to the Tarvelar in the second part, but the main purpose is that our player will explore small objects. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, small
Some
objects. I don't
ships,
know.
some
We
ships.
are not
No,
exploring small objects. We are exploring.
I'm thinking that it's not such a big thing to make a part of it, yes, from it. So it won't
Yeah.
be the
Well,
third part, fourth part that we'll be writing another 2 years, and it will be
no, no.
short scenes, small objects. I'm thinking that it's not a
Yeah,
full. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know, but yeah, we're going to be adding smaller exploration sites that
Yeah.
player can, well, small adventures, small dungeons to explore. Dungeons in quotation marks.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, dungeons. Do you know anything about the dungeons from the Dungeons and Dragons or any games designs? Anything
No.
about them?
No.
Okay, so there's an idea, I
I
think,
played many years ago, and I don't want to make
of
a fool of myself that I know about it everything. I don't know.
yeah. So
I
there's
don't
an
remember
idea
many
of
things. And
when you have to create some kind of a small dungeon, you need to only implement like 5 rooms in it. 5 room dungeon. There's such a
so
made.
first you make a plan of it, yes.
What?
Of this, first you make a plan of this dungeon, yes.
No, why? Why would I do?
You said
Plan?
it's a small
Who's going to
dungeon
see like
with a. So
who's going to see like the plan of our dungeon when we don't have like the dungeon has to have some kind of a purpose, you know? The dungeon cannot be like, oh, we're going to like draw something and it is really important. No, the dungeon has to be like designed. This is
okay,
design, right? And a 5 room dungeon has to have like 5 rooms. First one, entrance. Second one, puzzle. Third one, setback. Fourth one, boss fight. And the fifth one, reward. Ta-da!
okay, okay. I see.
Design. So yeah, these are the simplest ideas of dungeon, right?
Yeah.
This is so simple, of course. This is a 5 step dungeon. This is not something like you're gonna find like in Baldur's Gate, the first one, or the second one.
Mhm.
You know, they have like those dungeons, like have like 3 stores or even more, different puzzles running on different levels, and everything is complicated. But the small dungeons like those for the player to find can also be cool. So, like I said, let's go first. We name like our first paragraph. Whoops. Hello, React.
Mhm.
Entrance.
I'm watching what you're
So
doing.
we have
I'm
an
learning.
answer entrance. And why I'm okay, yes. And this is our first note. I'm going to make it a bigger one. So this is an entrance, and this will like exactly work like that. The player will land on something, will enter the exploration area, and can move.
Mhm.
Um,
I
this
see.
is something that we will be doing also. If you don't know Monica, we have like funny little gadget implemented. We have building blocks.
I haven't heard about it.
Okay, so every time I create a node and I write something inside,
Mhm.
description, anything like that, I
Yeah.
can decide that in the basic window I have box to check, and it's called the building block. And now I can implement it because it is in the database, and I can implement it anywhere I want. So I've did not create a lot of them. I created some of them, and this is the list of
Mhm.
basic building blocks. So if anyone would ask, how are we going to create a game further on? Like Okay, you are creating game. You have written like 1 gazillion of words, and what you're gonna just keep on writing. This is like like definitions for games, but this is like this, and this is a list like of different building blocks that I can use and I can implement to this scene. So what do I have? I have different elements. I will go like something absolutely simple, like some corridor. Okay, and
Okay.
I copy to current scene. I selected it. It's red. Copy to current scene, and oops, here I have it. Ta-da!
Okay, so you had
Also,
still this moment
oh, sorry.
of smooth
So,
screen.
and I have like a description, short description in Polish language, unfortunately. But it's I have a like code I have invented. I don't remember it anymore. I invented it really precisely. I have a document describing how I should decode this, but I forgot about it completely. But this is
Okay.
about because I created some kind of different versions of, for example, corridor for the ship. We are
Yeah.
going. I assume that at some point we're going to find a wreckage of some ship, and I can like quickly summon the description of such a corridor, not caring what it is. And this is a simple description. Everything is in chaos. Everything is bears marks of repairs and damages. Everything is just jury rigged. There's a lot mm, of how do we?
I'm
I
listening.
forgot. And everything is jury rigged. Okay, it's tight. It's just going forward, and what
Yeah.
we see is another.
Okay.
Everything is described here. I also created a lot of different different elements like actions. So I have like in here a building block that I'm going. Oh, okay. This is
I have to make
label.
full
It
screen
has a
because I don't
label.
see anything.
There is a label, and it
Yeah.
says
Okay.
movement ship forward
For
through the
the
door
arrow.
through the door,
For the door.
and there is a gravity. Okay, I want it. I'm copying it. There's
Okay.
somewhere in the problem
So,
with this. Oh, and here we go. It's an
uh,
action. Now I'm connecting the entrance. Look at it.
mhm.
Oops. Connecting the entrance, connecting to the descriptions. I have like a first building block of our scene. Ta-da! Cool, huh?
First you made these whole lists.
Yeah. No, every time I create, for example, or write a description of a room,
Uh-huh.
if I want to, I can mark it that I want it to be a building block,
Uh-huh. So it
right?
could be used
Yes,
in any scene.
and then it is used on this
Okay.
list, and I can implement it on every scene I want. I can go and of course mark it like pew 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 pew,
Okay. Okay.
kind of a
Now
lot
I
of
see.
them, and they all going to be implemented to this scene. So this is
Okay.
how we are going to be doing the next part of the game. Of course, to do it quicker, and we also
Okay.
have a fine little again functionality implemented in here that we can present the player with random text, not fully
Mhm.
random of course, but like in this paragraph for example, can I, yeah, in this paragraph for example, is it's just like moving, like I said, in this, well, it's not this, I should not connect this, but this is, you get cut the drift.
So the blue one is the
This is
beginning.
because this is the room that was described that there is a bulkhead ahead. So this is a movement through this bulkhead. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I can describe a short pieces like any sentence. I can mm, divide with this question mark in brackets,
Mm-hmm.
and I can produce them like this is like one, two, three, four versions. Okay, so
Okay.
every time the player would come to this node, this option, the game will generate at random one of those
Uh-huh.
four
Okay.
descriptions.
I
So
see that.
if in text games you cannot exactly like repeat copy paste the same description over and over again, right?
Of course.
Because someone would realize, hey, I just read that, and
Yeah.
that would be stupid, right? But we can divide this thing, for example, with those question marks, and in this way, each time someone will be moving through
Yeah, I remember when I saw
the bulkhead.
this for the first time, this question marks and
Yeah.
the yeah, and I asked you, you couldn't decide what version you like or why, why you
No,
made so
this
much.
is
Yeah,
this is exactly for this reason. I
you
don't.
explained it then, but
Yes,
for the first
when we
time for me,
create
it was.
loops, because loops are very
Mm,
used very often in
mm,
this in game design
yes,
overall, right? So the randomization of the sentences, and you can always like rearrange the grammar in some little ways, or use
another
synonyms
words.
and
Yeah,
anything everything that is so you and then the reader won't be reading the same sentences over and over again,
of
and
course,
he's
but
doing the same action, like
like I told you, for the first time I saw it, it was like, come on, he can't decide what sentence he want to read.
uh,
Seriously, this one is
probably
better.
probably
I will tell him.
when you saw the first one, I was experimenting with it because every time I get a new functionality, I like to experiment with it so I can imagine how can I also like use it later on in the game.
Hmm?
Yeah, and this I don't know. I hope it is written fully, but there is action. No, I'm looking for it. I don't know if I will find it. Crap, so many.
Yeah,
There's a
and there's no easy way to search
results.
for something
No,
like
I
Control
used
F.
like I told you, like I was using. I don't know. I have not. No, I don't have a search field yet in here. It is not refined exactly.
Hmm.
Sometimes we did not. I probably did not add it to the building blocks. That's the problem. Okay, but I have
Yeah.
like. Wait, I will find it. Explore. No, not this. I will show you what I because I want to give you an example.
Hmm.
I want elements. I have like here. Let's see this think. This is how I created like those building blocks. This is a scene that is outside of the project. It's not passed. It never goes into the game.
Hmm.
Yeah. No. Crap. That's not it. Well, I wanted to show you because I decided that I will be using it in a funny way because I can use this question mark. Okay, I will show you in this way.
Hmm.
Okay, so this will be the entrance, and we are like I said, we decided that this will be because of the selected building blocks that this is some kind of a wreck of a ship, but it's not a ship from the alien space. It's one of human ships, like
Okay.
those who were scavengers who were exploring the space. Okay, so I can divide specific portions of the text like description one, right? I will
Mm,
then divide it with the question mark randomization, and I will
mhm,
enter then description 2, and then I will create description 3, right?
mhm.
It would go like this, and the game would decide which description it will show. And
Okay.
now, if I will add another simple paragraph, and I will attach it to this one, the game,
Mhm,
after showing you this one of those three, would stitch underneath the description this one. So
mhm,
I can create now in this paragraph the description one for the second part, right?
mhm,
And so on. And I can attach, for example, like three elements for each node, like this. Okay. And in doing so, creating different descriptions this kind of a way, I will force the game to display all three paragraphs all at once with different elements randomized,
mhm.
right? So now, by
Right.
doing the elements like this, description,
Yeah,
different
question
elements,
marks.
yeah, by question marks and this, I
Mhm,
can create like descriptions that again will not be repeating itself for the
mhm,
player, but I can reuse them in different places, and it will be still the same. But like you have like three if you do in like only three, but if you would go like five different descriptions, and I was like inventing the idea of that this would be like introduction to the area. For example,
mhm,
you enter, you scan the room, and you see that this is a simple ship. You just went through the airlock, and there are some space suits chaotically all around, right?
mhm,
Now, this will be description one. Description two would be again you going through the airlock and you are noticing that everything is messed up. Some elements float here and there. Probably some suits. There are mm, some lockers, and the description tree also with different wording. I would create the introduction to the given scene, given location that the paragraph will describe. The second part would
mhm,
describe, for example, the exits. So in here, I will now describe oh no, in the middle part, I would describe the elements that should draw the player attention that can be explored. And again, I would randomize them, but I will still describe the same thing, like
yeah, but in
the
different words.
different elements, and the last part would always be this description of the uh, exits from this room. In a different ways, I would describe the same. And if I create building blocks such as those, I can implement and randomize quickly different dungeons and different locations.
Okay.
So this is how we can do a lot of things quicker
Yeah.
once we start with going with this, of course.
Yeah.
So this is like this is the next step that we will be doing after finishing with the story we have so far. Okay, we're going
Mhm,
to be creating a lot of those different areas that can be explored. We have, like, I have a lot of different elements here and there written up, so I will be able to use some of them, and then we will be creating another ones, and we will be all implementing them as building blocks, so we can create such a small dungeons like I told you. So
Mhm.
the idea for this one is that we have an entrance, like I said. We should have a second one should be like element 2. The, I will leave it to puzzle, right?
Mhm.
There was a setback, setback, boss, and reward.
Okay.
And in such way, if you know what you are doing, and if you know um, how to construct such a small dungeon, this will be like a starting point, like you know
Mhm.
where to get your building blocks from. All you now need is the idea, the concept, and
Yeah.
the way to do it. Funny, huh?
A bit. It's like in every text. Yes, you have introduction. Then you have what was the word? Uh, I'm lack of the word. In Polish it's rozwinięcie. Uh,
Oh no, are
uh,
you describing the
I know what you mean, but it's like
3 point structure of a story?
yeah, but extension. Yes, development
No,
extension.
extension is
Development.
something that you are adding to some other elements, like
Yeah,
for it to grow. No,
and closing the story. And it's only 3 points of every story that has to be
beginning, middle, and the
coded.
end. It's the
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Okay.
No, no.
Easy
Listen,
ones.
beginning, middle, and the end is just the beginning, the middle, and the end of the beginning.
And here we have 5 points. Yes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
story should always have like there are different because well we still are creating a story, so there's always some kind of a new way to approach this. This is how we create dungeons, not well
Mhm.
simple dungeons, right? Because we
Yeah.
need to. It's not about the exactly
The full
the five
story.
point is really good because it
Hmm.
marks the middle, it marks the beginning, it marks the end, and there are elements between that are what's what we called the thresholds. Okay,
Hmm.
because there was John Joseph Campbell, right? So at the
Hmm.
end of the different parts of story, the protagonist always approaches the threshold. So, and in order to go from the beginning to the middle, he has to overcome the threshold. In screenplays, it's called the turning point. It's in one of the third of the movie, and then there is the second one near the end. Two thirds of the movie should be, but of course, depending on how you what structure of the movie you are choosing. Okay, but in here, this design, like for example, entrance is the beginning of a dungeon, right? The
Hmm.
puzzle is the first, um, the
The
first
first.
obstacle that
Yeah.
has to be overcame by our character in order to proceed to go further to find anything else,
Hmm.
right? So in this areas we should never give player too much strain and too much loot to gather, right? The
Hmm.
puzzle would be the first place that the player can gain something, uh, can
Overcome
have
something and
something
gain something.
something
Yeah.
interesting, but has to overcome the first. uh, obstacle,
Troubles.
and now we have like setback, right? So the
Yeah.
setback should be like something draining his resources, okay?
Hmm.
Because we are, well, like I said, before, once when we were talking about the resources the player has,
Yeah.
because of the limits of our game, we need the player to be mindful of the resources he has and
Hmm.
to use them wisely. So in setback, we usually would create a situation when one of his resources should be like reduced
Hmm.
significantly. Okay,
Yeah.
so to put
So
the
or to
pressure
use
on him.
generator or use a
Yeah.
time and
So
okay.
usually this would mean like this is the bad thing that will happen to the player.
Hmm.
Something like a trap that will like
Cost
damage his
him his yeah.
spacesuit or something like that, right? And here he would like find another the second threshold that will lead him to the exit and to the reward.
So
So
then
I
this
know
part
it's called
is
the
like
boss. It
a,
doesn't have to be boss.
yeah. It he has to give something away to gain something.
Well, no. In here, he
Mm.
has to overcome something. He doesn't have to give something.
I
It's
mean,
not.
as one of your resources, yes, it would be health or
Well,
generator
no.
or
Well, we
no.
remember setback. When we create setback, we will not take like for granted that we
We will win
well
something.
the player fall through that. Okay,
Okay,
there will be tests or there will be requirements for him to meet in order for him to get out of this
there's no
situation.
guarantee.
No, there is no guarantee, but yeah, he should have like some possibility that he isn't losing, right?
Okay.
We don't want the player on those small, not on everyone at least, to be losing all the time, right?
Yeah, of course.
We have to give him the opportunity to gather the money because, like I
Okay.
said, one of the most important thing for driving our player will be some kind of a debt to pay and to
Yeah.
maintain his starship and his crew like later on,
And
right?
from the
So
beginning of the story, it is like he went to uh, explore the space because he want to earn,
yeah.
he or she.
So in here we will have the boss, like some major obstacle that can damage the player, and this is like
Mhm.
this place should mean like losing, uh, not like losing the resources, not like having to figure out something to
Mhm.
gain some reward and the passage. mm Forward. This is the place that he can be hurt, but if he fails to overcome, this can be once again some kind of a trap, some kind of a artifact that will be trying to, I don't know, teleport him somewhere,
Mhm.
to devour him. Some kind of a hurt. He will be trying to kill the player probably. And if he overcomes this boss, this is the place he will get like some kind of big reward. Like this artifact, if it becomes dead, he can grab it, he can pull it out, he can then sell it for good money, or it will be now even something more interesting, right? So I think that this simple mm, this kind of design for dungeon will be perfect for those quick explorations.
Okay,
That
and I
is
have
the
a
best
question
one
here.
that we should
Here,
use. Yeah.
yeah. Because you gain some artifact, you gain something,
Hmm.
and you need to have money, yes, to pay the debt,
Yes.
to something, and how it is. What it is or it will be made in the game. It he gain something and it's immediately uh, transferred to money, or he has to
No,
find some
no, 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 no.
merchandise or
No merchant. There will be like the player can have the idea of most of the items, what they will be worth,
the value, yes.
but his skills will affect the amount of money he will sell. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that the place where he will be selling it, it also will be taken into account.
Okay.
But no, no, it's not like immediately he will gain money.
Mm-hmm.
We will have like different I, ways of the player mm, to gain something. I think the most of them of the money should come actually in the form of usable equipment, because we still want the player, when he has something, to have like decision to make. Do I sell it or do I use it?
It's like
So,
in every game, I think that you have some equipment, you can
mm,
sell the old one, or
no, I know what you're talking about, and
it's not like
I
this.
I want to.
I remember how it was in, I don't know, Bart's Tale, yes? You have new armor, new
Mm,
weapon, and you can
every
sell
game, this
over.
is,
Yeah,
yes, this is the item retention. This is the
yeah.
idea of how
Mm-hmm,
you how you use items for the player to stay longer in the game. Okay, so you
mm-hmm,
create like different items that can give him significant boost when playing, and by doing it, he wants to find them, right?
mm-hmm,
And in between, he gathers around a lot of different items, and he's selling them by bulk uh, in order to find the equipment he likes and he needs to have. And many games like Diablo, like many games like Torchlight, and
yeah.
all those hack and slash are using this kind of thinking, and we probably will too. I am
Yeah.
not sure exactly how to approach it, because we still want to, well, be a kind of a story, right? We still want to
Okay,
tell a
but
story.
the capacity of his storage is limited, I think, yes? He cannot keep everything he finds.
No, he cannot. But there
Yeah.
will be sheep,
I
and we
know,
will
but
create an
still.
opportunities for players. This is the exact the idea. We need to
Okay,
create the opportunities for player to
to make choices.
to make choices, and equipment is as good as anything. If he needs to gather up the resources, and the money are the resources, we need to implement items that are worth more, if they are more usable, more fun to have, like,
Okay, now I see.
right?
Okay, yeah.
And this is how what I'm talking about, the reward, like after beating the boss, this should be like something that can be usable, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
items you can gain from puzzle, from setback, and from other, from the introduction to this kind of a dungeon, should be the ones you use to sell. Only if you don't have a good equipment, those should be like usable only in this way. But otherwise, it's just money. But I don't want also the player to gain money from, like, from the get go. He has to go and sell, because it would. mm,
Sometimes he
it
can
will.
gain the money because he is searching the stuff
Yeah,
of staff,
yeah.
yes, of personnel, and there can be money, yes,
Yes, but
physical
I
money.
want to. I'm trying to implement that most, even
But
the
it's
the
more,
loot,
more,
the loot
yeah.
that you can find, like uh, like ship's parts, like suits
Hmm.
parts, like electronic parts. They are still can be used as, for example, kind of a maintenance for your ship. Okay,
Yeah.
because you still need to, and many games also do this, because when you create, for example, an equipment, you can give a player a chance to dismantle it for
Hmm.
parts, and for example then to repair his weapon or to modify his weapon. And then, so again we will create a we will force the player to choose what to
Hmm.
do with the stuff he finds, not just give him and go and spend it, because
Yeah.
otherwise it doesn't serve a purpose and doesn't drive the player to spend money on anything else than paying up his debt and ending the game too quickly, right?
Yes, and he can find all kinds of things. Yes.
Yeah. So as you can see, this is the general design, so you should like remember it when you
Hmm.
will be told to create an exploration.
Yeah.
I hope that by the time we will have like many more mm, building blocks. Yes, searching here will be required for sure, and I will have to start even, I don't know,
Like
using some
Control
kind
F
of
and
a
anything text
well, simple
document.
way of describing those things, because I was still trying to
You
figure
have to
out
group them.
how to describe, because
Hmm.
you need to know what you are looking at or what you are looking for, only by reading the label.
Yeah.
So if you want to, and creating a dungeon in a fantasy world, it's really simple. It's a castle. The player goes there, he walks. There's little of problems with describing it. But in
Yeah.
space you have places where there can be atmosphere, it can be that there is no atmosphere, and
Yeah.
it's a problem in its description in everything.
It
There
can be
can be
human
gravity.
origin.
There can be gravity. There is no gravity, and again,
Yes.
you have to describe everything different way, because the player, you cannot give a player an action. You walk towards the door. Well, you
And I
cannot
think the
walk when
most
there is no
problems.
gravity, so you have to
Yes.
create another variation of action walk.
And another
So
problem is when you are describing an alien object. Yes,
yeah, yeah, but
because they can be all
well,
kind of things.
alien structures are more for, like imagination. You can
Yeah.
create anything in here. That's why we created a graveyard as it is, so
Yes,
you
I know.
can do whatever you want.
Hmm.
Uh, so this will be also done. I have also created. I don't know if I still have here, or I used it, or I moved it somewhere. But I had like the distinction of alien shapes, and I was like figuring out what kind of things we can find. So what would there will be like a ship made of wood, a ship made
Hmm.
of water, ship made of ice. Why not?
I
There's
remember only the obsidian pyramid.
yeah, well, the obsidian. Exactly. I figure out the obsidian uh, asteroid. Our Andre, who wrote the part, he figured out the ship where the foliage has taken over the normal ship, some kind of an alien ship. Mm, I did imagine the wooden ship for myself, and I wanted to describe it, but I had no time like for exploration, because I don't know if you ever heard about the comic book, the comic book, the series of comic books called the Saga. And
No.
there's a living tree ship that travels through space. It's really cool idea. I liked it.
I have to read it. Can you send me some
Well,
info?
it's like 15, 15, something like that. Saga is a saga, and it's a saga by everything that you know. It's like the thick for 300 pages, and there are 15 parts right now, and there will be another 15.
And it's a
And
comic
it's
book.
only a half. Yes, it's a comic book.
Okay.
So it's like
Whole
like
saga.
thousands of thousands. Yes, and it's a saga.
Hmm. Okay,
So
I think I remember it.
it's really, and
Uh,
it claimed a lot of awards, science fiction awards for storytelling and for uh, it's really fine. It's written very very well. Weird ideas that really work. People with television sets instead of heads, and they still work. It's like a cool idea.
okay.
Yeah,
So, I think that's enough for today.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll be going and see you next Wednesday.
yeah. Let's
Yeah,
hope so.
I
But
think
it's vacation, and soon I will be going away. So,
so.
like
Have a
the
beautiful weather.
next time we will have like uh, like next Wednesday and next Wednesday we will still be streaming, but then we will be on the break. I think, at least from me. Perhaps you will
Okay.
find someone else to talk to.
It's not so easy. No one wants to talk with me.
You have to find someone. Come on.
Okay, I'll try. So, see you next week.
Yeah. See you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.